Hello and welcome back to the gold and silvering. I hope everyone is doing fine. Silver seems to be going up and not stopping these days, so we all happy for that. Today I'm going to be walking you through my recent deal, and I'm going to be doing a unboxing, and also, as promised, I will be doing a testing showing how I test the coins and the precious metals that I buy. And yeah, let's get right into it. Right, so these two bars actually were not in the deal that I got, but I got these earlier in the week or last week. Just thought to display them here. So just how cool they look. These are the antiqued versions of Loki and Thor. I still need to be saving to get the Odin one, because it was quite expensive at the time when I wanted to buy it. It was like 500 quid, I think. But yeah, this is all the package. Actually, this is not my package. This is from the coin dealer who decided to wrap it like this for, I think he mentioned for Christmas present or something. But yeah, without further ado, let me just quickly open it and put all the items here in display. Got the so first of all, we got the 2.5 grams Wessex Mints 4 and 1 say bars. So these are pretty cool. These are the George and the Dragon ones. Obviously 999 solid silver. Pretty nice. I don't really buy these. It was just a nice deal, and yeah, they are a nice addition to my collection. These are the Britania, again 2.5 grams bars, again from the Wessex Mint. Yeah, pretty cool. And then the one only bar, 2.5, again Britania. Yeah. Then we got the 100 grams Britania Bar. Pretty cool. Now, most of these items probably, or what I do actually, the items that are packed just like this, I don't really test them, because as you can see, the package is very solid. You can tell it's not been tampered with, it's not been opened, so you can tell basically it is solid, so it is real silver. Next we got the 1 ounce Royal Mint bars. Again, as mentioned earlier, these are not open packages, so don't really touch them. Yeah, pretty nice. Leave them there. Then we got the Silver Eagles, 2 of them. These are year 2024. Yep. Then I have 2 of James Bond 007 series. Pretty cool additions to my stack. Oops, sorry, forgot to mention another 007 series. Pretty cool. Then I got 7, 8, 9, 10 Britannias. Now these are different years, obviously, because these are sold peer-to-peer, so most of the time when you buy peer-to-peer they're not gonna have, say, a full tube of Britannias of the same year. So say for example this is 2024 one and this is 2026. So yeah, pretty nice. So 10 of them. We will test them, or maybe not all of them, but just some of them in a bit. Next we have the coronation of the king coin. This is the 2023 one and a 2025 lion. Pretty nice design. I have got quite a big number of bars, so 3, 6 and then another 50 grams. So starting with the 50 grams, this is the BH Mayors, and then what I really liked was the ship design there. It's pretty cool. Then next we have the Asahi Refining 1 ounce bar, fine silvering. Then we have a 1974, I don't know what that reads there, but what matters is that it is 1 ounce of silver. And then we have the Perth Mint 1 ounce bar. Then the Golden Statement, again 1 ounce. Now this one is pretty special as well. It's got the good luck saying or wishing in multiple languages. It doesn't have any notation on the weight, but I have been told it's 1 troy ounce and I will be testing it. You can see that it was already tested with acid, and the mark that the acid has left after, you can tell it is real silver. And then the last one is pretty nice 3D design. Again 1973, 1 troy ounce. And then very lastly but not least is a coin that is not silver. I don't presume it is silver because I got it for way cheaper, but I just like the design, and also it's got the certificate of authenticity. But I got this more for the cool design, so you can tell it is actually like a balloon. History of aviation. So yeah, that's it really for my ground unboxing. Now I will do testing, probably not all of them as it will get a very long video, but I will just test some of them and show you exactly how I test every coin that or bar that I get. And then later on, if all of them pass the 3 tests, the first test that I do, we won't be moving to the acid test on these coins, because what I like to do, I like to avoid the acid test if I can, or if it passes the first test. But if all of them hopefully pass, we will do the acid test on 2 other coin, which is the Prince of Wales and Lady Diana. We will acid test it, and then I have got a fake eagle that I got from eBay, and I knew actually it was fake, to be honest, but still, just for the sake of seeing how say good they do the fakes sometimes. So right, let's get into it then. Right, so okay, I have moved the other stuff out of the way, and we will do testing on these. As I mentioned earlier, these ones I don't really touch them because you can clearly tell that they have not been opened. Therefore, I usually take these for granted, unless obviously I can see some, if I can see even the smallest opening, then that makes me suspicious. But in the case of these, I will move them aside and take them for granted. Yeah. I will bring the best friends of someone who deals with coins. So first you have a scale, second you have the loop or the magnifying glass that helps you most of the time when you have coins like the 007, for example, that's got the writings, very small writings on the edges, so you need your magnifying glass to actually read them. Or also when you do the acid test, you will need the magnifying glass to actually see through the process. Third, we have the magnet. By the way, all these tools are purchased on Amazon, so you can, I'll leave a link in the description and you can very easily buy them if you wish to. But yeah, this is a pretty strong magnet, so it will tell us if the coin is magnetic or not. And last but not least is a silver testing solution that you can, actually I think I got this from eBay. I don't think they do have it in Amazon here in the UK. They do have it though in the US. They do actually have the gold testing kit, full testing kit. Right, so let's move them aside and let's start with the lion. So first thing that I will do is obviously check the websites where these are bought from. So probably Royal Mint will have it, Bullion by Post will have it, just to see the specifications. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention earlier the measuring tool that you will need. So on those specifications, it will say the diameter of the coin and obviously the weight and all that. So first thing, the weight, that checks out. I leave it in grams because the troy ounce can sometimes, you know, be, because it's bigger, it will say I don't know, 1.00 something or 0 something, and sometimes it's pretty difficult to kind of say the difference, whereas in grams it's easier. So 31.25, that checks out. Now I know most of the coins, they will have a 38.6 diameter, which checks out as well. So happy days, two checkings done and passed. So the third one is the magnet test. So silver does actually behave differently to the magnet, so it is not magnetic. However, if you move the magnet, it will actually move the coin. That's why I said it does behave strange. So the main thing is obviously not to stick to the magnet. So yeah, that's it, passed. And then last thing that I do, just to convince myself, is a ping test. So that's it, it checks out, because in the ping test it should have that pop and then a long beep, but not very long one, and that tells you that it is actually silver. Now do bear in mind that when you do the ping test, some coins, they do sound differently, or better say, not all the coins sound the same way. So a Britania will not sound the same as a American Eagle. So just bear that in mind when you do test your coins. So I'll leave the Britania for the end. Then we do have the Coronation coin. Again, 31.29, good. And then this has got the same diameter, yeah, 38.6. The magnet test, yep. And then the ping test, yep. Leave that there. Then we have the 007 coin, so put that on the scale, 31.24. So this is what I said earlier. So if it was in troy ounces, it will actually say again 1 troy ounce. So you don't get to see that 0.04 gram difference. But that doesn't matter, because obviously the machines and the manufacturers, they don't do the coins perfectly every time, so they will have that difference. And then 38.6, oops, sorry, magnet, yep. And then the ping test. And that's it, passed. Last is, I'll do that. Last is the Britania. Now this is a 2023 year one. So, oops. On the scale, 31.24. Then it should have 38.6. Magnet test, it checks out, and then the ping test, and that's it, that's done. Now for the bars, I chose these ones. I wanted to choose this one, which even though it has been acid tested, actually, just because, let's say, it wasn't acid tested, and because it doesn't have any writings to say the weight, that's why I chose it. So pop that one. 3113 is just a little bit over the weight. However, with the bars, it is the same thing as I mentioned earlier. So not all the bars will have the same. So if you can find, try to find the web pages where you can get the specifications of these. However, in all the cases, most of the time, you will be happy with the dimensions, because all the, say, 1 ounce bars, they won't be like 100% the same. However, the difference in dimensions, let's say, so 28.6 and then 49.7, so the difference between these dimensions and the 2.8, the difference in these dimensions with the other bar should not be that big, and actually if you compare them, they will be roughly the same. So if I do now a magnet test, that does check out, and then if I do a ping test, it does have that pop and a little beep after. And also because it has already been acid tested, that does give me assurance. Really nice, cool bar that says good luck in multiple languages, so I'll leave that there. Okay, and then lastly is the Golden State bar. So again, on the scale, 3123, dimensions 50.1, 29.1, and then 2.2. So as I said, guys, if your bars, let's say, not fail, but one of the tests is suspicious, if it's very suspicious, then yes, you do an acid test. But if it's only a little bit, say you're not so sure, then obviously do a research for it, because it most probably the bar or the coin is all fine. It's just you haven't seen those specifications yet. Right, so let's get back to acid testing. So let's assume now, obviously this American Eagle, it does actually fail some of the other tests as well. Like you can tell that it is a fake, but then with old coins, you don't really know. So obviously this is a 1981 coin, and when you do the ping test, it actually, if you're very used to the coin sound or silver sound, you can tell that is not real singer, because that ping sound is very long. However, let's assume now that these two coin, they both passed both or all other tests. Now the acid test is two ways how you can do it. So one is in a stone, that basically you scratch the coin and you pour the acid there, and depending on the outcome, you can tell if it is a silver or not. the outcome that you're looking for is red. And for videos, whether it is a 925 or a 999 silver or a less percentage of silver, that is a different videos. There is videos in there. However, I'm not going to go into too much depth, but this is rather a way how I do the testing. So I don't really recommend, or I don't use the stone, because sometimes the coins are very good plated with silver, and you scratching a little bit of that edge of the coin is actually going to scratch the silver. So the outcome that you're going to get is not going to be the one that you want to see. So what I like to do is get a screw or something sharp, basically, to scratch the coin. So you can see that I had done a test very early on. So for the sake of this example, I'm gonna do another scratch. So you can tell there. And then all you need to do is get the solution and then pour it right where you scratched. Now what you're looking for, as we said earlier, is that red. And after, when you actually take the acid off, you should be left with a proper, just basically green, just like that. That shows you that it is real silver. But as you can see there, the greenish color. Now if you don't clearly see, that's where you use the magnifying glass, or if you want to check the everything that's happening from close. Obviously it doesn't really work. Oh, actually it does. You can kind of see but yeah, now what you want to do is you can grab one of these, or you can grab a paper towel to take that off. And as you can see, it is fake. Next one is this other coin. So let's do a scratch there. Now if you are somehow convinced but not fully, but still you want to do a acid test, but you don't want to do a big scratch on the coin, because the coin maybe is too nice to look at, just do it somewhere on the side, wherever. Just do a scratch, because you want the acid to go on the internal, if it's plated, on the internal side of the coin. Oops. That's a big point. So straight away you can see that blue color, which straight away indicates that it is not silver. thank you all for watching this video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it insightful. As promised, I will be giving away this 2.5 grams of Britania Bar from the Wessex Mint. And all you have to do to be part of this giveaway is subscribe to the channel and comment on the video "Silver to the Moon in 2026. More information will be given in the description for the giveaway. For now, thank you again and see you on the next one.